and then corresponding elements. As we know, corresponding elements come from the selected row. So, for 200 the element will be this 200. So, this is into 200, then it will continue 0 0 0 0 minus 1 1, this is not there, and 0. If you calculate it out, what is this? This is minus minus plus 2 multiplied by 200. So, this is plus 400 and 200. So, our this value will be 600. A pair of zeros is always nice to see, 1 and this 0. So, 1, okay. In fact, this is 0, this is 1, this is minus 2 into minus 1, this is plus 2, but 1 minus 2, that is minus 1, this is minus minus plus 2, and this is a pair of zeros. So, it is 0 1 minus 1 2 and then 0. So, our first row is taken care of. We go to the second row is always there. So, we go to the third row. The third row's original elements are, I hope you are getting the process clearly now. The third row, what do we start with? First, the older entries, the original row, write down them, it is 400, then this way 1 and triple 0. So, 1 0 0 0, and after this 1 we will have again 0. So, this 0, as we know, always minus. Okay. So, in this row we wrote the row except this 1, but then we will have to take care of that 1 as well. So, 1 and divided by key element, that is again 1. So, 1 upon 1 will come here again, and this will be multiplied by the corresponding elements of that special row. So, for 400 that special element is 200. So, it is multiplied by 200. For 1 it is 0, for 0 it is 0. So, these special elements are noted down actually. So, they are 0 0 minus 1 1 and 0. So, they are 0 0 minus 1 1 and 0. If we calculate them out, 400 minus 200, that is 200, this is 1 0 1 minus 1 and 0. So, the new row is available with us, it is 200, okay. Then 1 0 1 minus 1, 1 0 1 minus 1 and then 0. Okay. So, our table is quite filled in, but still 2 rows are left. We will go to the row which is having x 6, a similar process. This process might look little awkward in the beginning, but once we are used to it, it is really very convenient and enjoyable process. So, we go to the older entries as we do. 500 is the first element, then couple of zeros, then minus 1 0, we never take this, minus 1 0 and 1. Since we did not take 2, it is not happy with us, we will make it happy with us 2 by leading element. And now corresponding elements, they are the happiest elements, they appear so often. So, again the special row is very special, appearing so many times. So, again these numbers will appear 200, okay, then 500 is there. So, 200, then 0 0 minus 1 1. So, 0 0 minus 1 1, this is not there, and 0. If we simplify this, this is 2 into 200, 400, 500 minus 400, 100, pair of zeros again, this is minus 2 into minus 1. So, plus 2, plus 2 minus 1, plus 1 minus 2 and 1. So, our numbers are 100, then 0, 0, 1, minus 2 and 0 and 1. Okay, so we are left with only last row now, but as many people say, last but not the least, because it is very crucial for us. So, we go to that last row. The original elements are this 0, then 0, 3, 0, we not take this, and 0, minus, minus, minus everywhere. We did not write minus 2, so we will have to write down divided by leading element as we were doing, okay, multiplied by the corresponding elements. So, they are 0, 0, minus 1, 1 and then 0. What is that? 0, 0, 1, 2, 0. Okay. So, they are 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0. Oh, that is a great news. There is no negative number in the last row. So, we can see this final table 4 on the screen, which is not having any negative number on the last row, and once we get no negative number in the last row, that simply says the task is over. So, we go to table number 4 on the screen. So, last row is a happy row, no negative number, and so the process is over. Now, we go to see the result. X2's value will be 600, X2 was original variable and X1 also was original variable, which is 200. So, solution region gives us that X1's value is 200 and X2 is 600. So, we finally go to optimal solution. As we know, the objective function was maximize z equal to 4x1 plus 3x2, and we have got x1 equal to 200 and x2 equal to 600. Putting these values, we get the maximum z equal to 2600. So, we have got the optimal solution and we are done. So, after that happy ending of the example, there is a couple of comments about the efficiency of simplex method. The simplex method is remarkably efficient in a practice. We have been doing it so many times and was a great improvement over earlier methods such as Fourier-Moskine elimination method. Before simplex it was used. But in 1972 there came a twist. A couple of scientists, namely Klee and Minty, gave an example showing that the worst case complexity of simplex method is formulated by Danzig exponential time. So, there were a couple of cases when there was a problem with simplex method. Since then, when many researchers worked on it, some more problems were found in the performance of simplex algorithm. Yet, it is one of the best methods available in its class. So, just for your curiosity, there are a few more methods which have been used or which have been using to solve the LPPs. They are on the screen again. They are criss-cross algorithm, okay, and the three more, they are Ketchian's ellipsoidal algorithm, and two more algorithms we have. The last one is path following algorithms. So, it's not that simplex method is the only way to solve LPPs, but most of the people do not know about these methods. Most of the people know about just one method, and that is simplex method. So, that is all for simplex method. I hope you enjoy this session, and I thank my good friend. But then before that, we have some references. Operation Research book by J.K. Sharma, which is published by Macmillan Publishers, and a website www.wikipedia.com is always wonderful for history. I thank all the authority people, and I hope the session was good. Thank you so much. Thank you.